So the awakened human being. Yes, indeed, Robert. Thank you for that beautiful introduction. And I simply enjoyed sitting back here listening to him because it's the voice of wisdom. It is also the same wisdom that I share as Yeshua. And as Yeshua, thank you for allowing me to be with all of you here in this way. I understand some of you didn't want to participate live because you said quite clearly to me that my energy is a little too intense. So be it. Come back later and watch the archive edition of this that allows you to, in your own way, take bits and pieces of it that work best for you. It matters not to me. What matters to me is, are you loving yourself? Do you value yourself now? Finally, it's being priceless. Don't use my example in the life of Jesus. Of what value was I serving on the cross? Well, of course, I thought that that would also be of service to a grand spiritual family that was very stuck and continues to be stuck, one that calls himself Jewish. I was willing to show them in another way that this pain and suffering, self inflicted, serves no one. It certainly doesn't serve God, Spirit. Unfortunately, it was translated into believing that because of the pain and suffering, one does finally liberate themselves. I regret that that became my model of my own ascension. And it's then through a few others and Robert that I'm able to speak so freely about the ways that I was stuck in that infusion between my own divine self, Yeshua, and who I was as a human being, as Jesus. You find my story then more credible in the ways that you're experiencing your own humanity. I get how it feels really awkward to have that past almost clinging to your own body. It feels so stuck in your mind. It almost has your emotions trapped inside of you. And so the natural recourse is to try to get rid of it. If I were to chain you right now to, say, a tree, your first response, natural response, the survival response would be to try to get rid of that chain. And like an animal, you might be willing to gnaw your foot off just to get yourself freed of what it was that was entrapping you. And so you have the same conditioned response to the emotions and to the thoughts and to the past that has you feeling stuck. But you found a way to do this. You've allowed us to talk to you so directly so that you can work with ways to do this that do not entrap you and do not rely on you needing to get rid of anything. You simply release them from their own bondage stuck to you because you're willing to love yourself in a more profound way, in a way that indeed sets everything free. Now, from a place of fluffiness and lightness, that sounds really good. And we would have most of humanity signed up to this if that was what it was all about. But each of you that are participating in this course haven't quite had just that experience. It hasn't just been bliss and ecstasy. You found it disconcerting. You found it a little unreal, unstable to set these patterns free, to set your past free from a place of love. Because it leaves you not knowing really, well, then who am I? If I'm not using my past to define me, if I'm not going to go through the photo album of my own history as a human being, then, dear Yeshua, what does define me? And there is the freedom. You get to play in this landscape of a stage of reality that's that has created its own form, but your consciousness is the one that's using the form, the stage of this reality to be whoever you want to be, however you want to be, any way that you would want to express yourself that's different from how you've been. And that brings up an issue for all of you because you've grown accustomed to expressing, to sharing, to speaking. You've grown accustomed to the attributes that, in a way, define you and have created a certain comfort zone, but they are not you. They are just your past expressing itself over and over and over again. And so here you have this magnificent opportunity to find a new stableness, a new foundation that supports you because you're wanting this freedom to be whoever you want to be. That's going to be new for each and every one of you. And it's going to bring up the human emotional reaction to being outside your comfort zone. If I were to say to you that actually those comfort zones are prison cells, that might initiate something within you that the next time the comfort to respond to something that you've already done before, but you don't particularly like responding to it, or you don't like the experience that comes from responding to it, you might relate to these comfort zones from a different place. It doesn't require that you put the form of your body in the physical form of a prison cell, although some have chosen that path and actually have found that that's the perfect place to not be distracted. That's the perfect place to take ownership of who you want to be and how you want to be. But of course, you're limited by your own ability to express, enjoy, and experience. In the same way, you're limited in this prison cell that your past has contained you within because your past doesn't know how to reside in the now moment. In the now moment, you're completely free. In the now moment, there's no worries. Life doesn't trouble you. Life in the now moment is simply serving you.